4. Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's basketball coach Mandy King, as well as David Dennis from the wrestling team and Will Smith from men's basketball. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee sports. As always, you can find all of the latest WNL athletics news in detail at generalsports.com. Sophomore Marissa Thompson set a school record in the 60-meter dash at the Liberty Open this weekend as the Generals track and field teams recorded 8 top 5 Division III finishes. Meanwhile, in Baltimore, the men's and women's swimming teams and wrestling all fell to Johns Hopkins. And in ODAC basketball action at the Warner Center, the men lost 89-78 to 7th-ranked Virginia Wesleyan, while the women picked up a 78-61 win over Emory and Henry. With me now is women's basketball coach Mandy King. Mandy, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jeremy. It's great to be here.
How has your team dealt with the increased expectations for 2010-11?
Well, I think we've had the best start in the history of our program, and so I think we've handled those high expectations in a terrific way. I'm really proud of my girls. It hasn't been easy. One of the hardest things about playing basketball at Washington Lee is that every time you go through something, it's for the first time, and so there's some growing pains even when you're expected to win. And I think that the hardest part about it has been, we've always had high expectations inside of our locker room. It's dealing with the high expectations outside of it. And the only time I think we've gotten into trouble is when we've been more results-based instead of process-based. And I think now that we've started to focus more on the process and really enjoying the opportunity that we have this year, I think we're starting to feel it the right way, start to play the right way, and I couldn't be prouder of my girls. I think we're going to hit our stride right in time.
Players like Meg Ingram and Becca Bolton get a lot of accolades, and all well-deserved, but I wanted to talk for a minute about your senior class. Felice Herman getting healthy now. Allie Long has been on fire from three-point range. What have those two players brought to your program?
They've meant so much to our program for the last 4 years, and both of them, they really couldn't be more consistent in understanding, how the game should be played, how they fit within our system, and how tough this league is and what it takes to be successful. And I'm so proud of, everything that they've accomplished over the last 4 years, but especially what they've been able to, contribute to our program in this final year. Allie Long, I don't know, she's such a special player for us. I think she's the best point guard we've ever had in the history of our program, and she just seems to get better and better every single day. And with Felice, I think, I don't know that we've ever had a player that is just like her. And I think that, she's had some challenges this year, but I think she understands that this is going to make her a better player. And I think that when we have the opportunity to play for something big, she's going to be here for us, and we're going to see her really excel.
Your next 3 games are against the 3 teams currently ahead of you in the ODAC standings. Road trips to Roanoke and Bridgewater this weekend, and Randolph-Macon coming into Lexington next Tuesday. How do you prepare for that tough of a stretch of your schedule?
I think that everything that we've done over the last 3 months has prepared us for a test like this, and I think that we have to trust trust who we are and believe in what we're trying to accomplish. And I think that if we just focus on improving every day, if we focus on working on our team chemistry, trying to be as connected as possible and get in rhythm, then we're going to be able to really handle this test that we're about to go through. And obviously that we know that this is going to bring out the best in us. And I just can't wait to see what we accomplish over the next 3 games.
You spoke earlier about hitting your stride at the right time. What will the Generals need to do to be playing their best basketball when you get to the ODAC tournament?
I think the biggest thing that we need to do is be more consistent in the paint on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And I think we also have to make sure that we're sharing the ball on offense. We get a lot of confidence, when it feels like all 5 guys on the floor are attacking, and we can score in a number of different ways. And I think when you can start to do that, then you really see the energy increase, when it comes to our defensive identity, our rebounding resolve, and I think that if we can get a better paint presence, start to really flow on the offensive side, and then just make sure that we really just take it one day at a time. This team is at their best when they play together and they're really in the moment, and if we can just make sure that we do those 2 things, really great things are going to happen, and really it won't matter whether we win or lose these games. We're just always going to bring out the best, and we're going to be really prepared for the tournament.
Mandy, as always, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
With me now is David Dennis, junior wrestler from Sherman, West Virginia. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
This year's team has several first-years who are still getting acclimated to college wrestling. You've had a number of injuries as of late. Overall, even looking past the results on the mat, how would you evaluate the 2010-11 season?
Well, it's been a tough season. We started out the year with 17 guys in the roster, and now we have about 5 guys that can functionally wrestle for each match. But I think overall we've done pretty well for what we have. Our freshman class has been doing pretty well. We've won some big tournaments individually. Jordan Yost and Eric Fessel both won a really tough tournament earlier in the year. So I think we have the talent, and if we could just keep everyone healthy, we'd have a really good year. But I mean, we just kind of had a frustrating year, I guess overall would be how I'd describe it. But looking forward for next year, I think if we can keep everyone on the team healthy, we should be good.
What factors went into your decision to come to WNL and compete on the wrestling team?
Well, I've kind of been wrestling since I was like 6 years old, so it's been a pretty big part of my life. So I knew, looking at colleges, that wrestling would be kind of one of the big factors that I would be looking for. And I also wanted strong academics in a D3 program where I could focus on wrestling and academics, whereas like a D1 program, wrestling is pretty much your life. So looking at Washington Lee, I knew that it was kind of a good fit, small campus. So I thought it was good.
You moved up from 157 pounds to 165 this year. What are the challenges in changing weight classes like that?
Well, I think anytime you move up a weight class, you're going to have stronger opponents. Sometimes they're taller, so there's kind of more leverage. So you might have to change the style of wrestling that you'll be doing. But I think overall this year, it really hasn't affected me too much. I think being able to focus more on wrestling during practices and less on weight cutting, I think it's kind of helped me this year. So I think overall it's been a good change.
You were the runner-up in the 157-pound class at last year's Centennial Conference Championship. What are your thoughts on this year's conference meet, especially since you do get to wrestle at home?
Well, I think earlier in the season, we all kind of knew that conferences would be here. So it was kind of a motivation to work hard in the practice room and be able to focus more on wrestling. A lot of family and friends will be here, so hopefully we'll be able to meet the expectations that they have for us and do as well as we can for the guys that we have on the team. I think also just, I guess, like logistically, just being able to stay here and not have to travel 6 or more hours to a tournament kind of helps. We should be more rested and more focused for the match. So I think it should be good. It should help us.
David, thanks for being here. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by Will Smith, junior basketball forward from Lothian, Maryland. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy. It's great to be here.
Coming into this season, what kind of expectations did you have for what is a very young basketball team?
I think we had high expectations. We lost a lot of good players last year with Ben and Zach and Payne all leaving, but I think early in pickup, we knew the freshmen that we got in were all very, very talented. And I think the returning players, we all made a commitment in the offseason to get a lot better. So we knew we had a really good group of guys, a talented group of guys, and then early in practice, we could tell we were going to be a good team. We've played well and we've done well so far, and so I think our expectations are just getting even higher every day.
What's been your favorite experience from your time on the WNL basketball team?
I would have to say it was our ODAC tournament run my freshman year when we made it to the ODAC finals against Fawez. We came up a little short, but that was just a great run. First time in our career where the whole team's been playing as well as possible, and it was just a great experience, and it got us a taste for the championship, and it's got us motivated for the rest of the time. We really want to get back to that point and get a win.
You'll finish up the regular season with 6 of your last 7 games on the road. How will the Generals cope with that schedule?
I think we've done well on the road so far. I don't think it's phased us too much. I think we've played a lot of the teams before. We have good scouting reports on them. I think we'll just attack the schedule. I think we're going to take it one game at a time and do the best we can.
What are your anticipations for the rest of the season, including the ODAC tournament?
I think we're going to do well. I think we're getting better. I think we're going to hit our stride right around there. I really hope we can bring home a championship in a ring and put a banner in the gym and hopefully make a run through the NCAA tournament and get there.
Will, thanks for being here. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Jeremy.
The riding team kicks off the 2011 portion of its schedule on Friday at the Randolph Invitational, while women's basketball visits Roanoke. On Saturday, the track and field teams will compete at the VMI Relays. Wrestling heads to Allentown, Pennsylvania for centennial matches against Ursinus and Muhlenberg, and men's swimming travels to the Virginia Tech Invitational. In basketball, the men will visit Randolph-Macon, and the women will also be on the road to take on Bridgewater. Then on Sunday, riding is back in action at Sweetbriar. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.